Good morning, friends. Today we will discuss the topic the block diagram of HPLC, High Performance Liquid Chromatography. It is a liquid-liquid chromatographic separation method. It is extensively used for separation, detection, identification, characterization, and the estimation of the component used for the sample. Now the word performance, or it is also called the high pressure liquid chromatography. So the pressure stands for we are applying the pressure on liquid mobile phase. Here both stationary phase as well as the mobile phase both are the liquid, and here we are applying the high pressure to liquid mobile phase. So it is also called the high pressure liquid chromatography. Now the word stand for performance, it is because whenever we are applying the high pressure to liquid mobile phase, its efficiency will increases. It is extremely selective, sensitive, giving the reproducible result. So that's why overall performance is increased. So it is called the high performance liquid chromatography. Now here we have to see a one by one of its component. Then after that we will discuss its procedure in short. Now the first one, the reservoir. The reservoir are made up of either glass or stainless steel. It having the various capacities from 200 ml to 1000 ml. It is also equipped with the degassing system. We will discuss this later. So in case of solvent reservoir, there are the two types of elution technique. The isocratic. Isocratic means only one solvent is used as a mobile phase, and the second one is gradient elution technique, where we can use two or the composition of solvents. So it is called the gradient elution technique. Now these solvent reservoir are equipped with the degassing system. So here solvent 1 it is equipped with the degasser 1, and the solvent 2 it is equipped with the degasser 2. Now what is the role of degassing system? So degassing system is used to remove the dissolved gases from the solvent. If we are not removing the dissolved gases, then it will form the bubble, and this gas bubble may create a band spreading or band broadening. So it will overall affect in the performance of column. So it is necessary to degas the solvent. So for this degassing, there are the three methods that we can use. The first one is vacuum pumping system, where we are using the pressure solvent vaporize and can be made to condense, and then dissolved gases will escape. The second one is distillation system with heating and stirring rearrangement. So here also the removal of the gases from the liquid. And the third one is sparging. So where the inert gas of low solubility is used, the fine bubbles of inert gas get passed through the solvent, and it will swipe out all the dissolved gases from the solvent. So these three systems, either any of these systems are used for the degassing. Now suppose we are using the isocratic system. So here in this block diagram we are using the two solvent, two degassers, and then these two solvents are come in a mixing vessel. Now after that mixing vessel, it goes to the pressure pump. Now the pressure pump, it is the main part of instrument. So it is a core of the instrument where we are applying the pressure to the mobile phase. So here three types of pressure pumps are available. First one, reciprocating pump. Second one, displacement pump. Third one, pneumatic pump. Now which type of pump we are using, it is total depend on what type of pressure we required, what type of solvent we are using as a mobile phase, what type of compound we are separating. So by considering all these factors, we are choosing the pressure pump. Now after that the pressure pump, it goes to the pre-column. So it is also called as a guard column. So it is used to saturate the mobile phase with the stationary phase. So in case of pre-column, it having the same composition that of the analytical column, only the particle size is large compared to the analytical column. So pre-column, if it is gets saturated, then we can discard it and replace with the new column. So overall, it can be say that a guard column sacrifice for this analytical column. Now moving towards, we come towards the sample injection port, where we are introducing our sample, our mixture into the analytical column. So again there are the three methods. So first one, manual injection method, second one, stop flow method, and the third one is sample loop method. So either any one of three, we can use any type of method for injecting our sample to the column. Now the main part, that is the analytical column, it is also called the heart of this instrument, because whatever the separation that will be take place in a analytical column. So different types of columns are available. Packing columns are there, in that pellicular or porous type of columns are available. Then capillary columns are also available. So all these are the manufactured column. So these are which type of solid inert support, which type of stationary liquid phase we want. So we can take that type of analytical column. Now the last part, that is of detector. So the detector should be sensitive to our solute. It should give a quick response to our solute. Then it should be stable for the longer period of time, and detector should be such that it not destroy the sample. So these are the good qualities of detector. Now the two types of detector are available for HPLC: ultraviolet visible detector and refractive index detectors. Now these are the some short discussion about the every component of this block diagram of HPLC. Now we will see in short procedure how it will work. First of all, the sample is dissolved in suitable solvent. That maybe we are using such a solvent that is of mobile phase. Second, then it is injected to the system. It get mixed with the mobile phase, and then this mobile phase under the high pressure flows over the stationary phase in the column, where the actual separation will take place. Based on the differential solubility of the solute in the two phases, we get the separation. And then after that, the solute comes out from the column. It get detected into the detector. So this is the working procedure of HPLC.